I'm also going to be making turkey burgers today with 99. I'm just gonna bring it all over here. Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Nikki, and in today's video I'm going to be doing some ingredient prep. So we're back from vacation and it is time for us to get back on track. We just went grocery shopping yesterday and now I'm ready to prep some stuff to set us up for success for the week. So if you enjoyed this video or find it helpful, please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. And let's go ahead and get started with what we're gonna be prepping today. So I've got kind of a long list of things that I wanna get done, but I think that I'll be able to knock them out pretty quickly. Starting off, I'm gonna be making a veggie mix like I normally do. So to make the veggie mix, what I do is I chop up some bell pepper and onion. I've got 3 bell peppers I'm gonna be cutting, 1 red onion and a zucchini, and I just cook it in a frying pan on the stove. I spray it with some nonstick olive oil spray, and then I just cook the veggies in there for about 10 to 15 minutes. I usually pick a seasoning to add to it as well, something that goes with a lot of different meals because I use the veggie mix for different meals. So today I'm just gonna use this Kinder's garlic parmesan for that. Then once that's cooked, I'll just put it aside and I put it in a container that I keep in the fridge. I make sure it's cool before I put it in the fridge so that it doesn't get too liquidy or condensated, but then I just use it throughout the week for like eggs and rice bowls and pasta and pizza. Whatever I need to add some veggies to, I can just use it. So that's the first thing I'm gonna be starting with. I'm also going to be making a pickled red onion because that was really nice to have. The other week I made some and we used them for like couscous bowls and sandwiches and burgers, and we both just really like them. So I'm just going to throw together a quick and easy pickled onion in this mason jar using some regular vinegar, some apple cider vinegar. I've got some honey from the farmer's market that's actually garlic chili infused, so that's what I use for it, and it adds a little bit of spice and flavor, and then just some salt and pepper and water. I'm also going to be prepping some turkey burgers, so I've got 2 pounds of 99% lean ground turkey. I just mix those with some egg and panko and seasoning as well. And usually I would go and grill them outside, but it's raining and I don't feel like getting set up out there, so I'm just going to use my griddle today, which I got this from Walmart and I have used it way more than I ever expected. I use it for pancakes, tortillas, burgers, stuff like that, but I use it a lot and it's just so nice to have in here. So I'm gonna be using that to cook up the burgers, and then those are another ingredient that I just keep in the fridge. They're 0 points and I can add them to rice bowls or pasta, or even just have them on like a bun or toast or something and make a sandwich or like a patty melt out of them. I'm also gonna be making some salmon. So I saw this in the freezer and I just popped it in the fridge to thaw it the other day, and I'm just gonna be popping it in the oven, roasting it. All I do is spray it with some olive oil spray, add some seasoning, and that's gonna be it. And then I could just pop it in a container and again have it ready to add to bowls and pasta for the week. So that's just a quick and easy thing I'm gonna have prepped. I'm gonna make Adam some breakfast burritos for him to take to work. So I've got a little bit of cooked bacon and some chicken sausage that I'm gonna cut up, and I'm gonna mix it with some of these simply shredded hash browns. I'm gonna add some green bell pepper and onion that I already have chopped to that. Usually I would add the veggie mix, but since I have the veggies for it already chopped, I'm just gonna use those for his burritos. And then I'm gonna use these large extreme wellness wraps, which this has 6 in them, so I'm gonna make him 6 burritos. So I'm gonna add eggs to that as well, and a little bit of reduced fat mozzarella cheese, and that'll be the filling, and I will show you that once it is all cooked. Then I just wrap it into the burritos and wrap them in foil, and he can bring them for work. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I think I'm gonna start with the veggie mix first so I can just get that cooked and out of the way, and then everything else will come together pretty quickly. So I'm gonna go ahead and get cooking. Since I was chopping up the veggies, I decided to just chop up the red onion that I'm going to be pickling first and set that aside in the mason jar. And then I just start chopping up my veggies for the veggie mix that I'm making today. And I can link the video in the description where I make a couple other veggie mixes, but this is the one that I make the most frequently because it goes well with so many meals. And usually I just use onion, bell peppers, and zucchini. Once I've got all the veggies chopped up, I just add them to a big frying pan that I add some nonstick olive oil spray to, and I usually cook them for 10 to 15 minutes until they've softened up a little bit, but don't get too soft. I usually like to let them cook for 4 to 5 minutes before I add the seasoning, and then I just continue to let them cook on medium heat. And while the veggie mix is cooking, I'm making the sauce for the pickled onions. So it just uses some white vinegar, some apple cider vinegar, honey, which I'm using some from the market, and salt and pepper, and then some water. So once that's all in there, I put it on the stove over medium heat and let that cook. I'm definitely going to make an effort to prep salmon more because it was so easy and it was so nice to have it cooked in the fridge ready for different meals. But all I did was thawed it the day before, then I sprayed it with some nonstick olive oil spray and added some different seasoning and salt and pepper, and I just popped it in the oven. Then once the liquid is simmering, I put the jar of onions in the sink and I pour the liquid in. It got a little fogged up on my camera, but I just seal the jar, shake it up a little bit, and let that sit. Once the hash browns have been cooking for about 5 minutes, I start to add the veggies in. So I've got some green bell pepper and diced onion that I already had cut, and then I also chop up a jalapeno to add to that as well. And I just mix it in with the potatoes and continue to cook them. Okay, so the salmon is ready to be flipped, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that and keep it baking. And I'm just gonna set my timer for another, we'll do 5 minutes. I also wanted to show that this is what we do for prepping rice. So Trevor was actually prepping the rice today. We just use this rice cooker. I think he makes 4 cups of it, and then we just put it in containers once it's cooled off, and then we have it ready in the fridge to use. When I'm making these hash brown scrambles or the filling for these burritos, I like to make a little center in the middle and spray some more nonstick olive oil spray to crack the eggs into. I find it's just easy to just scramble them up like that, and then it doesn't waste a separate bowl to crack all the eggs in and mix them together. So I just do that, and then I start to slowly mix them with the hash browns to combine them. To make the turkey burgers, I combined the 2 pounds of lean turkey, 2 eggs, some panko breadcrumbs, and some different seasoning. Today I'm just using some seasoning salt, and then I prefer to use gloves to just mix the turkey meat by hand. I find it's just easier because then I can use my hands to weigh out the different portions and to also form them into patties. So I decided to add a little bit more seasoning. I continue to mix that, and then I use my scale and tare it to 0 with the bowl on it. I see how much the entire thing of turkey weighs, and then I divide that by 10, and that's how I decide what each patty is going to weigh. And once I have the ground turkey divided into 10 equal portions, I just start to form it into the shape of patties using my hands. I recently got this griddle from Walmart when we moved, and I have used it so much. It has been so convenient and nice to just have in the house. And usually when I make the turkey burgers, if it's nice out, I'll grill them. But today I just thought it'd be easier to use the griddle inside, and it definitely was. Then whenever I make something where I'm dividing out filling, I like to just lay everything out at once. So I'm making 6 burritos. I want to lay all 6 tortillas out. And then in the pan, you can see I'm just kind of evenly dividing it into 6 portions that I can put on all the tortillas. But once it's on them, I could also adjust and add and take to them to make sure they're all even. Okay, so I am done prepping everything. That actually took a lot less time than I expected. Adam went out to run some errands and I was trying to beat him finishing all this before he got back, and he's still not back yet. So anyway, I'm finishing up the last 2 turkey burgers, but here they are done. These are 0 points on Weight Watchers, and they just work perfectly as like a quick sandwich option. Sometimes I'll just put them on a bun with like lettuce, bacon, cheese, veggies that I have on hand, and maybe like a sauce. I like to cut them up and put them in bowls. Sometimes I even cut them up and put them in pasta because they're kind of similar to meatballs. So that's what I'm gonna do with those. It's kind of like chicken parmesan. I'll put like red sauce and cheese, and it works really well with pasta. But I've got Adam's breakfast burritos here, so I just wrapped them all in foil and I keep them in a bag like this so he can just easily grab them. I didn't have to label them this time because they're both just bacon and sausage. Then I've got my veggie mix that's done. So it's cooled off now and I will put the lid on it. I always store it in a glass container like this. And like I said, I like to let it cool fully because then there's a lot less liquid. My salmon is also done. Actually, Trevor already took some of it and I'm probably gonna use some for my lunch as well today. But this was super easy to just pop in the oven and have it baked. And then my pickled onions are done. And these are, again, for sandwiches. They'll actually be really good with these burgers, but also in bowls, which I could do a falafel bowl with this, and some couscous, maybe some cheese, some veggie mix, cucumbers, stuff like that. So I'm feeling really good. We've got a lot of stuff prepped and that really didn't take much time. It really wasn't that big of a mess either. I've got a few dishes to do and then that's pretty much it for this. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel. Doing this and ingredient prep in general helps me so much to stay on track. It helps me to eat more food at home because I've got the ingredients in there made and then I have no excuse to get fast food or something, which I'm tempted with from time to time. So it's nice to have this all prepped, set myself up for success for a busier end of the week, and we've got some food. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching and I will see you next time.